Hello and welcome to the second vlog of communicative skills as a European teacher, where we'll be talking about the course yet again. Another vlog, wonderful. Now we're gonna we've talked about culture, but there's also something called language. You know, if you're coming from different countries or different areas, they have different language. Belgium alone has three languages originally. You got Dutch, French, and German. But nowadays, because culture is mixed, you got a lot of Italian, Spanish. Is it Moroccan or Islamic languages? You got all kinds of languages. Some African languages. All of it. It's a multicultural country with all sorts of tastes and things, and planes flying over my house, which makes a lot of noise. What the fuck? So language is a very important issue because through language we communicate. You've got verbal language, but you've got movement language. And it's very important in order to bring something over to people or to make them understand or to get the fact that they need to talk or they need to, not they need to talk, they need to understand is language. That's an issue. And not everybody is good at language, writing or speaking or expressing themselves in language. And there are two types of language, of course. You've got the language you speak at home, that's the BICS, and you got the language you speak at school or at job interviews or at higher statue parties. You got COPs, you know, the languages you're not used to speaking, but they're ways of communicating. Now, everybody can communicate in their own BIC like nothing. It's okay. If they speak like that, they can understand it, they can see it, they can pinpoint it, they can explain it, they're away with it, they get it. That's their way of talking. But COP is a very different language. It takes up to, well, it can take up to 5 to 7 years to understand it properly. Imagine if you just came into the country when you're 14, but you're supposed to already be adapted to that language. All hell breaks loose for your mind because it's very difficult. And it's very difficult for a person which a different language has origins to concentrate on that language. It takes years to adapt, to know that language, to not get tiresome of the language. And even then, even so, you become tired of that language or you get adapted in that language so much you take it over as your mother language, mother tongue, your national language. But that's very difficult because at home you always speak your own language. For instance, when you speak French and you come to the Flemish part of Belgium, they speak Dutch. You have to speak Dutch, but you're used to speaking French. When you go home, you speak French. So there you adapt again to your BICS and you're used to that and you can communicate normally. And that's a real issue because not a lot of people understand it. A lot of people don't have the patience for it. A lot of people lose their patience into it and are like, why aren't you understanding it? Are you stupid or something? A lot of teachers are like that, which annoys me completely because seeing as I'm from different culture myself and have been grown up the first few years in my mother tongue, but then they decided to, because they saw issues coming up if I was going to go to school, decided to teach me Dutch and grow me up in Dutch. So there you go. It made it easier. But even so, it's so annoying when you're used to speaking different languages and people are like, what are you, an idiot? Can you understand me? Or are you a moron or retard or whatever words they want to use? That is extremely painful too, because the people who are then not speaking the language are feeling left out, are gonna be like, you know what, if you think I'm an idiot, if you don't want to teach me, if you don't want to explain it properly in the language so I can understand it, you know what, screw it. And that's how I would respond, that's how I would react. It's very important. What we've learned in the course as well is that you actually, when you have students or people who come to learn, or even when you're communicating with them, is to be very thorough, very keep it simple in your language, because they're not gonna understand every word. And it doesn't matter if you're like talking not in sophisticated words, as long as they understand the matter, as long as they can learn and adapt that way, that they can actually be a part of of the thing you're trying to do, you're trying to explain. Isn't that what we're supposed to accomplish, reach? That would be perfect. That would be it if we could do that. It's gonna be difficult, but we could do it. It's possible. And even in teaching, you know, the most important thing is that we actually, if we're teaching people with different languages, that we clearly say that there is what we're gonna learn, what we're gonna see, and even the slightest step, give them a compliment. They're doing their best, and it's very hard to adapt. And one of the things in the course as well was that when you're going to a lot of schoolyards nowadays, there's like big signs in Belgium, in the Flemish part. I don't know if it's in the French parts and Flemish parts, and I've noticed it as well now more and more. There are plates saying that they have to speak Dutch there. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm used to speaking French or German or Swedish or whatever, and I have to speak Dutch the entire day, my mind would go numb. It would make it very difficult for me. I would go home exhausted mentally, which means I can't concentrate on my homework or other stuff. You gotta give them a break. Give them a break. Let them speak their language. If not in your class, I mean, I can understand it could be if you don't understand it, but during the breaks, let them just communicate. Let them just rant off in their own language, because trust me, it could give them a mental break, and their what's the post of the breaks would be optimized. Language is something very important, very dangerous to just be something to call. Don't just call it language, because you can only understand and see what you know in language. If you only know one word for green, you only see one type of green. But if you know a million words of green, you can have a million variations of green. Same for in Dutch, there are a million types of, not a million, 10 or something or 8 words for snow, different kinds of snow. If you're used to seeing those snow, if you don't have the snow, you don't have the word, and you can't understand it or say it. You can say soggy or something, but that's what it is to us. Now we don't understand you, and you don't understand us, and there you go. Language is very important, even body language. If you never had it or never seen it, you will not understand. It might misinterpret it. Frustrations can start. Stuff can go down, and all hell could break loose in your class. No, it's very important that you actually adjust, adapt, be a part of the not them, but we as well. They're coming to us because they think our placement or our situation is better. And I understand the need of them speaking our language to fully adapt, because not everybody here is fully trained in different languages. But you gotta meet the street halfways, man. You gotta go there and say like, okay, you know what? You want to learn the language? I'm touching my hair like again. It's very simple. I just have to stop doing that. You gotta meet the street halfways, man. I mean, you can't expect them to come here, adapt, be completely a part of all of this, if we're not throwing them a bone at least, or giving them something to understand, to see, to feel, to know that we say, hey, it's okay, man, you're trying, okay? As long as you try and you're doing your best, whatever, okay? Because it's really difficult. It's a very dangerous subject as well to explain and to be talking about, because I keep on ranting away about the course as well. Is that just understand that when people have different languages and they come into your class or your life, don't start acting like the retards if they don't understand it from the first try. Try and explaining it at their level of language. They're big, which is maybe to you a cop because you don't understand that, but then you can like understand it and start communicating, and there will be less frustrations and life would be grand. I hope. So that was it for the second vlog and the last vlog I was supposed to do here. I don't know if it's gonna... So yeah, until maybe next time or whatever, bye.